Hey guys, Jinlox here, back with I was gonna say back with a new blind playthrough, but that's not correct. Back with our blind playthrough of Riven. So last time man, it's actually been a couple weeks. I couldn't remember. Oh, thank you. I couldn't remember what exactly we had done, but yeah, I looked at the last video and it was basically writing down all this stuff. So that's good to know. I really wonder if this is. I mean, it looks like I can make out a lot of the stuff. But I imagine it's important. I also imagine... this is important, right? But, I mean, so it's... The problem is I don't even know if this is English. If it translates into English. You know? I'm sure I've said that before, but... Anyway, let's move on, because there's more... There's more things, and the only place... excuse me, the only place so far that I've found that has language is the, that room with the five, with the little peepholes. The room that spins in the middle. Alright, so... lots of places still to go, at least on this island. I think we want to go there. And if that's a circle and this is like a half circle, then I think that's the other end of the circle. Let's just make sure we don't go forward from here. It looks like we don't. That looks like rock, so let's just try the... No, okay. And I would think we would need that to be on the other. So let's go. Was this always active? Oh, see, I'm glad it gives you a... It stops to let you choose, right? That's nice. Although I don't think we're... No, we're not going the right way. Because you can see the things on the left. This one goes to the switches. It's really neat that you could... that you could see the water, though. Well, let's take a look just to be... Yep. Right. Okay. All right. So that means to get to there, we probably should go back to the classroom and then go back. Oh, no, I don't think we... I wonder if we don't have to. I wonder if we go... Because there's a stop right after the... right after this, right? Yeah, right here in the middle. So what you do is you turn around. And it was not a crawl. That was the game I was thinking of. I was like, I have to look this up. Yeah, Nautacrawl. That game was cool. Too bad I didn't care. I more cared for the immersive aspects like this, rather than the whole, like, now all of a sudden this thing turns into a flying machine, and now all of a sudden you do this and that. It's like, I was more interested in being trapped inside this thing and navigating the world through monitors. You know, which maybe Duskers would be a good game to get. But I've plenty of other games, you know what I mean? That's sort of the problem. Alright, so we're here. We have not been up there, but that looks like the ladder's gonna drop. We've not been here. I don't know if we could do anything here. We'll figure it out, or maybe we won't. Oh. Okay, for a second I was like, wait, are we trapped somehow? Because I heard a noise. It didn't make it that time. Okay, so you can't look into the pool. Oh, but you click along the sides. Part of me... Uh-huh. See, that looks like something, but... Wait. Was that always there? Do we step on that? Oh! It goes back up because we stepped away. It's hard to see... It's hard to see how big... how big things are. And what's interesting, though, is right there you could tell... The movie portion, it's not the whole thing that's the movie, it's just between those two slats, or between those two rods. It's really important, because, you know, space was a premium back in the day, and this came on... This game, like, this is when... Oh, no! Oh, I guess you run out of time. Because back then... Well, this would be 97, I think, right? So, discs were... Yeah, CDs were a thing. CDs were popular. But it was still, like, kind of ridiculous. You know, to put games on CDs and all that stuff. Okay, can I click on it in time? I don't... Oh, it's over there. And then it's there. Oh, okay, so we're like a quarter way around. Man, I don't know if you have the time. We'll see. As soon as it comes down, we'll see if we can move. But I think as soon as we click, it'll just go back up. So the kind of the problem is, like, I don't know if there's something we need to be doing right now. No, it won't let me click. Can it? It won't even let me move. It's weird too, right? Because it's not giving me the hand. It's doing the finger. It's the finger, not the palm, right? So it does the palm on things you could interact with, I think. So what happens if I click it again? Can I click it again? No. I click. I don't know. My first thought was like you have to get to the top and put some bait on it or something, but the annoying thing is I really think I should use the guide here because I don't know if there's something that you can do here that I'm not doing. Right? Because the problem is, if this is a puzzle, it's like, am I clicking in the right place or not? Okay, let's pull out the guide, unfortunately. Because I don't want to... What I don't want to happen is... My thought would be, well, then we've explored everything on this island. Let's go to one of the other islands and explore. But then you run out of things, and it's like, oh no, you were actually supposed to go back to this one place, like here, and you were supposed to click on the thing, but you were actually supposed to click on the water or something stupid. You know what I mean? You had to click on the water and not the whatever. Okay, so... let's see. Okay, so chapter 2... I just want to know if there's something you can actually do here or not, but I wish... Hopefully this guide will help with that. Hopefully, because this is going to be the hint chapter. Chapter 2. It even has the little number for 2, which I think that's the number for 2, right? Oh, sorry, my cat. I didn't mean to... Oh, that's the number for 2. Manny's in my lap, and I moved the page. He was like, what? What's going on? Okay, Beetle chapter gives away very little. Like so many other CD-ROM games, Riven has a player interface that is simple, direct, and natural, almost as if you're physically in the world you are exploring. Getting around is literally a matter of pointing and clicking. Hand-shaped cursor depends on the actions that are available to you. Walk forward. It's the view on your screen. Sometimes you need to click on a particular part of the screen in order to move forward. Note there will be times when it's simply not possible to move any farther. Clicking on the view ahead has no effect. Turn left or right, or try looking up or down to locate another route. Okay, so it's, yeah, just this is the cursor things. Push, pick up, handle, manipulate. Yeah, a switch. You'll see the icon change to an open hand, which is strange. When the zip feature is selected in the menu bar. General hints for exploring Riven. This is a hint book, so the following are a few very general hints. These are things to keep in mind as you explore the complex, beautiful, and fascinating world of Riven. Numerous objects, or examine everything. There are numerous objects in Riven that provide you with a closer look at items. Click on them to get a better view. Some devices enable you to further manipulate them by opening them or turning them on, which may prove to be important. Play with everything and note the results. Several devices have eyepieces, peepholes, or image viewing areas that require an up-close peek. Click on them all to have a look. Click on them to have a look. I don't know why I put all. Have a look around. The panoramas of the Riven Sea and landscapes are breathtakingly spectacular. Stop frequently, take a careful look around, admire the scenery, also search for geographical clues. Try to orient yourself in the landscape. Be especially aware of the various buildings and structures and how they're sited on the various islands. You'll need to pick up on such geographical clues as the location of certain bridges, where they lead to, whether they're open and closed, and so on. Okay. I'm thinking that Steam puzzle would be one. If in doubt, turn it on. Try everything, throw every switch, pull every lever, note the results. There are some mechanisms in Riven that must be set in a particular combination with other mechanisms, or which must be turned off so something else can be turned on. In general, it's in your best interest to turn on everything. Understand the mechanisms. You will encounter numerous mechanisms in Riven, strange devices that you must manipulate to open, move, look into, or turn on. Examine all such machines carefully by moving the cursor over them to check for areas that seem to allow you to manipulate them in some way. So that's what I hate. That's the pixel hunting. Then click and drag on the various controls. I don't think you have to click and drag. I think it's single click. I guess we'll see. See, this is why I'm glad I have the guide. Because if I'm gonna have to use the guide and it's gonna be, oh, you should have done this, I'm gonna be like, and it's like moon logic, I'm gonna be like, yeah, okay. That's why that's why, unfortunately, I say that I don't like puzzle games, but I've basically learned not to like them because just about all of them are bullshit. Obra Dinn might be one that's not. And I'm still, like, mad at myself, kind of, for not, I feel like I ruined the experience, but also at the same time, it wasn't what I was wanting and looking for at the moment. So when I actually figured out what it was, I was like, oh, man. Bless me, Manny. But also, I didn't realize there was very little story. I thought there might be more story. So I was like, well, let's get the story, and then we'll just fill out the rest of the stuff. But the story was weak. Try different combinations. Try to understand what the thing does and what it's used for. There may be subtle clues, a new sound, or a change in some part of the landscape around you. Try to pick up on these clues, piece them together to form a picture of how the machine works and why. Be systematic. One lever may turn the power off or on for a number of locations, depending on how it is set. You may need to experiment by throwing the lever into one position, then moving around and observing things to see what was turned on, what was turned off, before returning and trying it in a different position. Be observant. Nothing in Riven was placed without a reason. Note such relatively minor details as where a steam pipe vanishes into the rock. Try to determine where that same pipe emerges on the other side. Discover what it's connected to, you might figure out what it's for. Be aware, too, of the sounds you hear. A few will be important enough you want to take note of them, so you can remember them later. Okay. I mean... yeah, this kind of feels like the Obra Dinn a little bit, where it's like... there's just so much noise, so to speak, and you have to determine what's... it's like signal versus noise, right? You have to determine, out of all this noise, what the appropriate stuff is. Separate the wheat from the chaff, and that, man, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I feel my heart sinking right now. I'm just like, oh, God. But we have the guide, and my heart is sinking because I'm just like, I want to like the game, but I don't want to do all the bullshit. Let's see. Be persistent. Some puzzles may take many, many attempts before you crack it. Some will require you to travel back and forth between widely separated parts of an island, or even between several different islands, before you've assembled all the necessary clues. You may notice something new about a scene each time you go there. Keep at it. Yeah, I can't say I'm a particular fan of that either, right? Like, there's a random switch on the map. Now you have to throw it and then walk the entire map and figure out what it does. I'm just like, oh man. I understand that was kind of the, like I said, it's the Sierra Adventure thing. Read the journals. Atris gives you his journal at the beginning of the game. Later, you may be able to acquire or read the journals kept by Catherine and Geen. Read them. They're solely as background or atmosphere. They may be specific clues, even codes, or the solution to specific puzzles hidden within the pages. Keep a notebook. Don't trust your memory, especially if gameplay is going to extend over a period of weeks or months. During your explorations, you'll be required to learn certain symbols and relate those symbols to other things. When you see a symbol that is obviously intended as something more than decoration, copy it down. You'll probably need it later. Make maps. Veteran game players don't need the following advice. Make maps of your journeys. Know what you find at different points along the way. Chapter... Wow, are you busting ass, Manny? Chapter 4, Chapter 4 of this guide includes maps of all your destinations, but as the thrill of discovery and the satisfaction of a deduction confirmed is much richer if you keep that chapter closed for the time being. Draw your own maps as you explore. There are important clues in the relationships of certain structures, one with another, and the function of some controls can be inferred by noting the existence of pipe or walkway connections. So I remember people talking about some sort of, I think it's a grid puzzle or something. I just remember seeing all these dots. I've probably seen it in this guide because I remember flipping through it as a kid. What are you doing, Manny? You have to put like, it's like a big like grid, and you have to place colored stones in appropriate spots. And I feel like it's probably the location of the islands or something. It's probably something stupid like that. Which, yeah, I don't know. Like are you going over there, mister? Here, I'll move you. Do you want to go up or go over? It's, okay. You're just gonna sit there? Okay. Yeah, Oh, okay, we're getting up. Alright, that's fine. Yeah. So my thought is I might do... I really want to do this as a... Like, I don't want to just use a guide for this necessarily if I don't have to. I want to take my time, but scarcity mindset and I'm impatient, so... I mean, I guess those are probably linked. So my thought right now is we'll play a little bit of this, and then maybe I'll do a different game or something. No, I'm looking at Manny. Just, you know, making sure he settles in appropriately. Yeah, well, you know, maybe like every other. Like, I'll do an episode of this, and then I'll do something of that, and blah, blah, blah. So if I do... Yeah. That way, kind of let it breathe. Like, you know, I can only handle so much, and then just be like... And then actually play something that's a little more, you know, less time-wasty, I guess. I don't know. Let's see, okay... But, you know, and that's the thing, like, this is... It's funny, because growing up, we would watch Indiana Jones, right? And we'd be like, oh man, you know, it would be so amazing to actually have to, you know, decipher the clues ourselves, because the best you get is, you know, at the time, like, LucasArts games were sort of well made. Because you could actually sort of kind of figure the clues out for yourself. But a lot of the more complicated stuff, it would be like, you know, Indiana Jones would have to figure out and tell you. You know, it wasn't like, here's the translation, actually figure it out yourself using the clues in the environment. And that's what this is trying to do. And it's like, as a kid, this is what I wanted. But as a kid, I didn't have the patience for it. And as an adult, Yeah, I don't feel like I have the patience either, just because of... Yeah. Maybe for different reasons. But, you know, I need to learn... I need to learn the patience, I think. Okay. Let's see. Keep a journal. Atros, Geen, Catherine all keep journals of their experiments, thoughts, and decisions. Shouldn't you? Some puzzles require solutions... Or some puzzle solutions require careful thought and the accumulation of clues from widely diverse locales. Many clues you acquire won't be needed until late in the game, and the larger picture finally begins to make sense. A journal of your thoughts, musings, and speculations might help you pick up on subtle but necessary clues. Or it might not, and you might have to use the guide. That's the problem. You know, like, you take this, for example. The fact that it's the track, right? It's a circle, and then it's like the Ultima Online symbol, I guess. Is that what that is? A U and an O combined? That's basically, or a fish. And that's what it is. And it's like, is that important? Maybe. Maybe not. You know, is the fact that there's 3 of these things down here and all the rest up here, is that important? Maybe not. You know? Because there's this game Fear Effect, which I tried to play, and I literally couldn't get past the first section, because you go a few screens in, and a dude's wearing a bomb vest, and you have to disarm this bomb. And I was like, I have no idea how to do this. And if you screw it up, it's on a timer. You have like 10 seconds. And if you screw it up, it blows up, and then you have to restart. And I was like, I have no idea. And this is like, you know, before the internet, or when the internet was still going. And I was like, you know, and I vaguely remember looking it up, and it's like, in one of the previous screens, there's like a street light in the distance that's flashing, and that's the code or something for the bomb, like the colors that's flashing. And I'm just like, that's asinine. That's like dumb. It doesn't even make sense if you think about it in the context of the world. Anyway, all right. Save frequently. Another piece of advice veteran gamers recognize: save often. This adventure requires a lot of traveling to work out the various puzzles and problems. It'd be a real shame if you were almost all the way through and then discover you'd made a mistake or a rash assumption. Had to return to the beginning to retrace your steps. In general, save your game before traveling to another island or before getting too deeply involved in a new puzzle. That way, if things go wrong, you can restore your game from your last save instead of repeating the whole thing. So can you soft lock yourself? Because I was thinking about that Steam thing, like, in that lake there's the switch, and I'm just like, I don't know what this does. And I wonder if it, like... See, I don't know if that makes... What are they talking about, exactly? Are they talking about, like... You know, you turn that on because you think it's going to turn on a door on one of the other islands, and so you go all the way there, and then you're like, oh no, it's not this one. So cute. This is like, oh man, just reading these tips, I'm just like, oh my god. It's sucking the energy out of me. Take your time. Riven is an extraordinarily rich and complex world. You are under no time restraints. You are not in a race. Take your time, enjoy the experience. It may take you several gaming sessions to crack a particular puzzle. Numerous restores from saved games, and many... See, that makes me worry. And many different approaches to find the right sequence or code. Remember, if things get too impossible, well, that's why you have this guidebook, isn't it? Yeah, see, this is why my buddy was like, play it, but with a guide. And this is back when we were used to games that were insane. All right, Chapter 3, Island of Riven, Hints and Musings, and it's a little frog. Bam. Chapters designed to provide you with hints and clues to further your explorations of the world of Riven. Divided into 7 sections, 5 of them which comprise the 5 islands of Riven. That makes sense. 5 islands, right? 2 others, 4, well, call them other places for now. If you need help in a particular location or solving a problem, find the appropriate section. Scan the headers until you find the list of clues you need. Clues are arranged from top to bottom, from more general to more specific, so you might want to use a piece of paper and an index card to cover up the clues that appear lower on the list. Doing so will reveal only what you want to see, not the entire solution. This section is rated as Frog. It gives away some of the mystery and will certainly make some of Riven's puzzles easier to figure out. It does not expose specific solutions, however. Okay, see, there's little tips, and I feel like these are super important, right? So, Temple Island, opening drama. Tip, there's nothing you could do at this point concerning the Rivenese or about getting your trap book back. Still, you must be aware of Rivenese culture and life. Geen fancies himself to be the creator of this world and his people. Could there possibly be dissent here? Well, yeah. The first mechanism, tip, and this is, by the way, this is all the way at the end, right? So it's like you get the thing and the headers and the clues and then the tip at the bottom. Tip that should warn you that not everything is Riven is powered. When you find it, you'll be looking for a number of valves or switches to get things running again while you're here. Tip, during your explorations, look for switches, levers, valves that might further your quest. You'll need to raise those grates that block positions 3 and 4. Is it 3 and 4? I don't remember them being marked, but okay. In the gate room, for one thing, you just might find some necessary power controls. Great Golden Dome. As you continue your explorations, try to work out rough maps of what you find. Relative positions of what you see may hold important clues. Also applies to other islands you might see in the distance. If you see a nearby island with bridges or other structures on it, try to visualize position relative to the island you're now on. The Fire Marble Dome. Okay, so, wait. Is this all of the first island? Because we haven't even been there. Okay. Jungle Island. Okay, I'm going to skip through to... submarine. Okay, submarine. Unless you start consulting Chapter 7 in this book regularly, you're going to be doing a lot of backtracking here. But don't worry, that's part of the fun. Plus, it's a way of becoming very familiar with this world. Don't let familiarity blind you to things you might not have noticed the first time through. The schoolroom. Tip, Rivenese mathematics uses a base 5 numbering system. Try to learn all the numbers between 1 and 10. Figure out how the series of 6 through 10 is built on 1 through 5. Yeah, okay. The Jungle Island Fire Marble Dome. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe there's one of those grids for each island. Okay. Crater Island. Geen's elevated throne. Which I assume is this. Or maybe over here. I don't know, I guess we can't do anything here for now, but that's what I was looking is for the book to basically be like, you can't do anything here for now. But submarine circuit, submarine, schoolroom. Geen's elevated throne. The Jungle Island Fire Marble Dome. Just figuring out how to get to the dome is a problem, although you can see it turning atop its pedestal of rock near the sullen glow of a magma-filled fissure. What structure is located near the dome? Might that have anything to do with reaching the dome? 2 ways to reach it. If you don't find the path during your first exploration, you should be able to find a way back to it later. After finding your way to the dome, make sure you record the symbol that opens it in the connectoscope. Take note of what the Fire Marble Dome is built on. You'll need to remember it later. The only thing I can think of is that bridge in the jungle. So there's that, like, house, and there was, like, walkways above, and I assume that's what you... But again, it's telling me I can reach it now, which is like, okay. So there's probably some pixel I didn't click on, or I didn't, like, look in the proper direction or something. It's... Yeah, I might play something else after this. Because I'm just like... Yeah. Because I'm not, like, because it's like I want to figure things out on my own, but I don't like my time being wasted. That's what really, really makes me sad. Wait. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, the movement's a little awkward. That's why this whole... That's why this whole, like, clicking thing went away. Oh. But then, I mean, so the problem is, even with, I was just thinking, like, with Obra Dinn, you can move around and stuff, but there, they did the 1-bit stuff, and stuff would fade and appear depending on the distance. Like, it wouldn't even render until you were close enough to it. And so you might look at it and be like, oh, there's no clue there, but there actually is. Okay, where should we go? Because I don't know if we can get here yet. You know what? Let's try going back to that... Man, I need a handkerchief. Let's try going back to the little... hut in the jungle area. It's possible I missed... Oh no, we don't turn around. We can keep going, right? Which way would we be going, though? Okay, I don't know what... We'll try going this way. Yeah, we'll try going this way. You know, it's funny, because I thought about making a map. I was like, maybe I should make maps of stuff. But I mean, I don't even know if I would... Or how. I thought about... Because I was like, oh, maybe I'll make a list, or make a map, and then... No, because of how, you know, I don't know how stuff is laid out. And then it's like, oh, I could make a list of things that I found on each island. See, like, what is that? Is that important? I don't know. I even saw, like, because when I was looking through the book, I even saw, like, little bits of text. It's like, look around closely. Did you find the fourth eye or whatever? And I'm just like... It's like this where you have to, because every time I check, right, I put my stuff to the side, and see, oh, it's like 180. But there's going to be one of these, like in here, you go from a certain direction. And see, it's like you just walk past that. Like, is this important later? Are we going to do something and you're going to see something change? I don't know. But yeah, like I was saying, it would be nice. I appreciate the pre-rendered graphics. I really do. But there's definite flaws to... Okay, so everything's a trade-off, right? Everything's a trade-off. So, like, you have this, and you have to click around. And that makes it so that you can miss stuff, right? Or, like, you can't click on the window here. You have to go forward and turn around to look at the window. Or to look at these, and I can't even tell what the hell these things are. So being stuck sort of on rails has its problems, but also, like I mentioned with the Obra Dinn and things not rendering, if you walk around in the 3D space, that's cool. You won't miss some things, but you will miss others because you're not looking in the right spot. Whereas with this, you could sort of direct. You could be like, oh, there's a window right there. Oh, I didn't, or this. You know, it's like, it's there. You know? See, here. Oh, hang on. Also not being able to look up, you know? Right, see, there's a walkway. Like, why the gate? And this, why is that spinning? You know? See? Like, what? Oh, is that a beetle? Huh, do they just randomly have videos of creatures and stuff? Like, I can't even look up, that's the problem. Oh my. Okay. Was it this way? Well, in fact, there's a whole series of walkways up here. There's a walkway right there. So this is what, stairs? You're gonna find some switch later that opens this and come back here? And that's... I don't know. I'm a little bit frustrated and my heart sank a little bit because of that. Because it's like, oh, you know, before this I was like, okay, let's go through, we'll figure it out eventually. We're just exploring right now. Whereas now I'm like, you know, the book basically told me, yeah, there's gonna be, you know, you're gonna hit a switch in a random spot and it's gonna open that stupid thing's mouth or whatever. You know, there's going to be a switch and you won't know what it does and you'll have to retrace your steps and re-explore the entire map to figure out what it does. I'm just like, come on, dude. I hate that so much. So I guess we... It is very pretty, though. So I guess what we'll do is... It also doesn't make a whole lot of sense sometimes. You You click on stuff and it... Um... Is this the only other place? Because we couldn't go anywhere from here. Right. Yeah, I saw bridges or something from here, and there's 5 islands, right? So that's where we started. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. We started... There was... You know, you sort of go up the steps or whatever, you go through the spinning thing, and then, you could go through the spinning thing, but the other way takes you down here, I guess, and then you ride this, and the other way through the spinning thing, we couldn't get through yet. You could see the dome. But then there's also something like you go down and around and activate. There's like some underground stuff, or I don't know. But this is only the 3rd place we've been to, right? I don't know. So that's all for now, I guess. We'll try messing around with the other island. We'll see. It's just very... It's disheartening is what it is. Because I'm sure... I feel like those that don't have a scarcity mindset are like, wow, look at all these puzzles. I get to walk around and figure out what things do and all that stuff, right? But for me, I'm just like, look, I only have so much time. You're wasting my time. You know, it's like, we gotta, you know... And then, like, right up there, there's some other thing. There's actually 2 other ways. There's a path to the... There's something to the right, and then something to the left. You know, and the thing is, it's entirely possible. I keep... like half making the joke that into the shredder. You know, I keep making the joke that oh, I didn't even notice this here. Huh, it's not powered now, but are you able to die in this game? Like, if it does turn on, does it just, like, drop you into the shredder? Hmm. Well, we'll save over 5. That's fine. Okay, so... Yeah, no, I was talking about retirement or whatever. It's like, you know, I keep saying, like, oh, maybe when I retire. And it's like, that's a real thing, because I really hope that when I do retire, excuse me, the time pressure will be off me then. Because then it's like, well, I have all this free time. You know, I only have to get one thing done today. And that's actually, so when I left the military, that's how it was. I was off for about, I don't remember if it was 4 weeks or 6 weeks, but man, it was wonderful. Because I was like, excuse me, I had all this free time, and I was like, each day I'm just going to do one thing. I don't need to, like, be like, oh, today I'm going to do all this stuff and screw around the rest of the time. I was like, no, today I could do this. Tomorrow I could do this. You know? It's like today I need to take the car in, tomorrow I have a doctor's appointment, the day after that I can do laundry or whatever, and just one thing a day. And that's huge. I got so much done. It was so amazing, and I felt so good. And going back to work was miserable. I just felt really, really productive and satisfied, and like way happier. It's unreal. Um, and so I'm like, hey, I may, with the lack of pressure on me, I may actually be able to sit there and enjoy a game like this. I may be able to be like, all right, well, we'll give it this amount of time. It's like, okay, we'll try 30 minutes trying to figure this out, and then we'll use a guide or whatever. You know what I mean? Um, as opposed to now where I'm just like, I don't know. Definitely doesn't feel like that these days. Um, but I don't know. We could definitely do something like that. We'll see. Let me. I mean, we're done for this episode, but let me think about this and figure out what to do. Maybe we'll just do another one and then go from there. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. Really do appreciate it. Really hope you guys are enjoying these episodes. Nothing much happened in this episode except I lost heart and then my hope. I'm trying to like reforge my hope or whatever. I don't know. It's some dumb, something dumb. I don't know. The mindset is though super important. So I don't know. Hmm. But um yeah, last time we did a bunch of the reading stuff or the noted the lettering down. Um what's interesting though is the guide did not say, it only said math. It did not say anything about the language. So maybe the language is not actually important. That would be fantastic if that was the case, but we'll see. Um yeah. I don't know. Even then you still have to hunt the pixel and all that crap. So yeah, so this time we just kind of we looked at the guide a little bit, got some hints, got some basic understanding of what is going on. Um yeah, even the whole like base 5, I feel like that's kind of a major spoiler. Um although I guess I don't know why. I mean, we haven't seen any particularly. We haven't seen, because my understanding of the base system is it's the number of digits, right? So if your first digit only goes up to 5, then you need a second digit. That's why like our numbers are base 10. That's why 10 is 10. It's 0 ones and 1 10, right? So it'd be like in binary, 10 would be 2. If it's 0, 0 0 is 0, 0 1 is 1, 1 0 is 2, 1 1 is 3. If you wanted 4, you'd have to have 1 0 0. But I'm not sure what context that is in this yet, because we haven't explored enough, I suppose. Wow, this is really going longer than I thought. Yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. Like I said, I really hope you guys are enjoying these episodes. Um, you know, questions, comments, concerns, good, bad, or indifferent. Let me hear them. I do read all of them. I do try and respond to all of them as well. What is your guys' unique positive moment for today? For me, even though I lost heart a little bit, that's okay. We'll still persevere. You know what I mean? We'll keep exploring until the point where we can't do anything, and then I'll start pulling up the guide, I guess. Yeah. So, um, resolved to persevere, I guess. That's the unique positive moment, in a way. Anyway, that's mine. Hopefully your guys is better. Hope to see you guys next time. Till then, guys, take care.